Don't move, I saw you move.
That's all right.
You said you had to go. If you move, I'm going to have to start all
you're
over
going to have to
again.
kick me out. Okay. We are specifically in a little district called Blewett Springs in McLaren Vale in South Australia. I've been the winemaker there since 2000, so just a little time. So I've been making wine since 1995, so we're nearly kind of heading on 25 years. I've done some vintages in Europe and 6 vintages in the US as well. So I kind of got bitten by the wine bug. I just got passionate about wine, started collecting wine, and I went to a wine dinner. Winemaker came in for his wine dinner an hour late, covered in wine, in his shorts and a t-shirt. I figured, well, that seemed like a good way to go. I would have been in my early 20s, and it kind of took me from there. Just Australian wines that have been accoladed, and very much as an Australian focused, probably quite in the mid-tier. I remember, although kind of you'd maybe call this obsessive or passionate. I remember, I can't remember how much my average salary was in that, or my wages, with a part-time job at university, but I bought a 1990 Grange that was basically 3 weeks worth of my wages. So I'd maybe call that obsessive.
I was obsessive, yeah.
I studied at the University of Adelaide, the Roseworthy wine school, and then I made wine in Spain in 1999, which was an amazing learning experience. And I was actually a consultant, and I went in there with all these great ideas, and I had to completely turn them on their head because their style of farming, the way they ran their wineries, all the things that I wanted to do, somewhat wasn't possible. So I had to actually get what I wanted, but change and I think that's a testament to how you need to think about winemaking, whether that's because every year you get a different set of conditions. So you need to be flexible to be great. You have a set of rules that you follow, but within that you need to be flexible to get the best out of each year. I made wine in Southern California from 2003 to 2008, specialising in Shiraz for the Jackson family, and I learned a whole new set of rules there too, and a whole new set of climate, new set of soils, cultural practices within wineries, but also brought back with me from all those travel, and also fortunate to see a lot of wineries in Europe to kind of bring the best of ideas back home and hopefully fine-tune the craft. I think you continually fine-tune your craft because you're continually being critical of what you do to continually make it better. And so sometimes over that, I always think about it as you have a toolbox of knowledge and knowing what tool to pull out, when to pull it out and when not to pull it out. And often actually with wine is actually more when not to pull it out. And I think, being really detail focused is also about a lot of observation. So you're actually continually observing and actually assessing where the wine's tracking. And like I said, then actually sometimes it's doing nothing. But then there's times when it is, and just doing the right thing for the wine to showcase kind of the varietal character, the regional character, the vineyard character. It was a really low yielding year, and so that means everything happens in kind of a really narrow band. So we had a 3-week harvest from start to finish,
wow.
Bang in, bang out. But because the yields were so low, we had enough space to be able to process everything and hold everything and not compromise any time on skins. And a year like that, 19 reminds me of 15, which was another low-yielding vintage. And those wines are got a lot of tension and kind of tightness to them, but they're not as generous as what you might see in a 16 or an 18 vintage. So it's nice when you're working with a single vineyard, because I think part of the interest in great wine is the vintage variations, and because otherwise we'd be making beer. That's made to a recipe. We're making something that showcases the the character of the vintage. So they're kind of real winemaker-y, geeky kind of vintages, because the wines have lots of kind of structure, and they're sometimes young, a bit arms and legs, but as they evolve as older wines, they can be really gratifying.